Hey everyone, this is Matthew Kent, and I just wanted to shoot a video to talk about something I'm about to do and put it out there publicly. Way of conquering my fear, right? Because I've been afraid to do this, and even if I had done it normally, I think I would have kept it private. And just because there's that fear component, if you tell somebody this is what you're going to do, then they know if you fail. And so you have the fear of putting down a big goal on paper because you're like, well, what if I can't hit it by that date and I'll just feel bad about failing? You have the fear of, well, what if I tell other people and then they know that I failed at it? Listen, more and more I'm coming to learn that failure is not a big deal. Failure is a stepping stone to success. The people who succeed keep failing and keep going. You learn from your failures, you grow stronger. You develop systems like I talked about in my bullet journal failure log, where even if you, a rejection log, whatever I called it, video that I did, even if you lose, you win. That's how you get ahead. That's how you succeed. So I've done a few videos now on my bullet journal. It has been a fantastic journey. The last month or so, I've only been doing it, keeping me on task, keeping me organized. I've gotten a couple comments when I went through, I did my walkthrough on, I have an income tracker basically for online revenue. And so of course there's various things that I want to do online to try to make money. I would love to become a full-time entrepreneur, make money online, help people out, and I think it'll be fantastic. It's slow going in the beginning, and that's fine. I'm gonna put in the work. I'm gonna chip at it. Right now, I got up early, and I'm shooting this video before I go to work, my 8 to 5 job. Woke up while the rest of the world's asleep. But so what I'm gonna do is I am going to write down today. I am going to write down a pretty audacious goal. At least I think so. You guys might think, "Oh, come on, you're underselling yourself. You could do better than this." I think it's a pretty audacious goal to be making a full-time living online with a salary that's more than double what I make now by January 1st, not of this year, thankfully, but 2018. So I'm going to put a date on it. Now, here's the thing. Let's just talk about general psychology, general philosophy of success for a second, how to set yourself up to succeed. And granted, you shouldn't be listening to me because I'm not there yet. I'm on the start of this journey. But I think this lines up with a lot of what other people who have succeeded would say. And I think it even lines up with a lot of the research that's out there about this kind of thing. So if you have an idea, this is my first point. If you have an idea that's in your head about how you're going to succeed, how you're going to make money, how you're going to do something, I would just call that a dream. It's not a goal, it's not a plan, it's not anything really. It's just a dream, and it might be something that eventually you do. But I would say the odds are 97% it won't happen, or higher, and 3% or less that it will end up happening. So something magical happens, I think, that starts to shift the odds when you write it down. Just write it down. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a full-time living online. Doing videos, making products, selling courses, whatever it is. You write that down, and there's a weird shift that happens in your brain that, you need to live up to what you've put on paper. It's something external. Plus, it helps you focus your ideas. You write it down, and now you're forced to brainstorm and start, building out that plan a little bit more. So I would say, and I don't know, I'm just throwing out numbers now, but I would say you take a dramatic leap in the chances of success of your endeavor, of your goal, just by writing it down. And it is starting to become a goal now once it's written down. The next magic step, right? So step number 1 is you just have the idea. That's worthless. Step number 2 is that you have the idea and you write it down. That's where the magic starts to happen. The next major jump, I think, in the likelihood of succeeding is just putting a date to it. Just put a date to it. You need some accountability beyond just having it written down that you can ignore. You need a date, and you need something to hustle for. Even if you don't hit the date, you think about it, if I get halfway there, in a lot of extent, to a lot of extents, I'm crushing it. That's not a failure. That's a smashing success. I still have farther to go. You still want to keep chasing that goal. You still want to hit the goal, and then once you hit it, set a new goal, and then go crush that one too. But it's a huge, huge, huge success to make any kind of significant progress toward it at all. It's progress and success that you wouldn't have made if you didn't make the goal, didn't write it down, didn't put an end date, didn't hustle to go get it. So that's step number 3 is, you put the date, the due date of it there. I think the next major step is having an accountability buddy. And not why I'm putting this video online. I don't want like a billion people, not that a billion people would ever watch this video, emailing me, messaging me, putting it in the comments like, all right, where are you every step of the way? But, telling somebody that you're close to, telling, friend, your spouse, just whoever, family member, that this is what you're doing, you want them to keep you accountable, I think is just magical. There's as I mentioned at the beginning, the beginning of the video, there's a certain sense to want to not do that. Because once you tell somebody, then you're going to have to feel a sense of shame on any week or month or whatever time period you check in with them, that you're not living up to that standard, that schedule that you're going to be setting for yourself. Anytime that you're lazy, that you're slacking off, that you're falling behind. But you can't worry about that. You can't worry about what they're going to think of you. You can't worry about the little minor failures along the way. Because look, here's the bottom line. If you tell somebody that you're going to do something and you say, hey, I'm going to work on it 5 mornings a day for this whole month, check back in with me in a month, and you work on it an average of 3 mornings a day, 3 mornings a week for the next month, that's way farther than you would have gotten on your own. Not having the accountability partner, not knowing, there'll be mornings where you wake up thinking, I don't want to do this today. But then when you think about what you'll have to tell your accountability partner, you say, okay, I'm going to do it today. And any amount of getting stuff done that wouldn't have gotten otherwise is a huge win. It's a huge win. It's hard to come by these kind of wins. People don't follow through in general. If you can follow through even just a fraction more because you're scared of facing your accountability buddy, that's huge. And then, the final 2 steps, and this is going to be super general on this video, you start coming up with a more specific game plan, more specific, concrete, actionable steps. Here's how you're going to achieve your goal. And then, just the final piece is consistent execution. Probably a consistent theme that is going to come up on any videos where I talk about how I think success is achieved. Is going to mention that I think consistency is a far better way to become successful than having a big idea. Everybody's like, I need the $1 million idea. I don't think so. I think most people that are successful, to be honest, there's a few good ideas I've heard. Most ideas are extremely mediocre. You need a mediocre idea that you consistently execute, and you'll become successful. So that's my video. That's my 2 cents. I highly challenge any of you who have vague plans, vague goals. Write it down. Make it specific. Make it something that you can measure, success or failure. Yes, no. It's got to be that binary. Put an end date to it, right? So on that end date, it's just going to become very clear. You're going to look at it and you're going to say, did I hit this goal? Yes or no? And just remember that doing these steps is going to make you more likely to achieve that goal. But even if you don't, and I think if you do all these things, you flipped the odds completely from 97% against you to probably 97% for you, as long as it was a realistic goal, a remotely realistic goal, as long as you consistently execute and hustle. But if you're able to flip the odds like that, even if you're in that 3% failure mode that, you wrote this goal down, you didn't hit it, you still probably had huge successes. If your goal is, I want to make X amount of money by this date, and on that date you're making 70% of the amount you wanted, that's a huge win. That's a huge win. Like, you lost, don't get me wrong. You want to hit your goal, figure out how you're going to hit your goal next time. But you're making a bunch more money that you wouldn't have made before. You won. You lost and you won. I mentioned in a previous video, one of the big keys to life, big keys to success, coming up with systems where even if you lose, you win. So that's what I want you to do right now. I am going to, one thing you can hold me accountable for, I think I'm my accountability buddy for my long-term online income goal is going to be my wife. But you can drop me a comment. Today is August 4th. So if on August 5th you want to drop me a comment and just ask me, did you write it down in your bullet journal? Did you put an end date on it? And did you talk to your wife about holding you accountable? You can do that and hold me accountable in that way. But I challenge you, pick your goal, write it down, make the magic happen. Good luck.